Hey Rachel, hey, as I mentioned, this is probably one of the fastest ways for me to respond to a pretty deep email also, so that way there's some clarification in terms of what it is that I'm asking and what I'm not. So again, before I get started, first I wanted to say as with my email is that I see you as like my assistant, and in order to be my assistant, like I got to be able to have access. So I got to know what times you are available in the event that I need something, or we got to talk about something, or we got to change direction, or we got to, just kind of modify some things. And so I'm going to need to know what are those time frames that you are up. So if I just say, hey, let's just jump on a quick call right now. I need to know what those time blocks are. I respect your time, as I know you know I do, and I want to be respectful of that, but I need to know some time blocks from there. Also, as I mentioned, about 24 hours. If I send out an email, Skype, or whatever, please check your stuff to make sure that it can be responded back in 24 hours, because in your position, different than other positions, it has to do with us being ebb and flow and working together. And so I know you definitely understand that, because you would have said something before, but just know that it matters. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go down in the list of emails you gave me, the questions, and answer them. Okay, the first one you said, oh, so to what I put in the message earlier. So I want to create, as we mentioned, I want to create a virtual handbook. So all the steps, all the projects or things that you're doing, I need you to be documenting them and put them in a Google document in our Google Drive. So that way we'll have kind of a virtual assistant handbook, because in the event that something happens and you're no longer a part of it, and or we need to, grows large enough that we need somebody else to do some other things, other tasks. We need to have that documented, so that way I'm not starting over from the beginning, losing time and losing resources as well. So please document the things we're doing when you're talking about posting, when you're posting stuff. Document the process, the steps, so that way if you handed that off, think about yourself as a supervisor. If you handed that off, you'll be able to have somebody do exactly what you're doing the way that we're trying to get it done. So that's important for me to have that as far as the organization, especially when I go to utilize virtual assistants. Okay, so just know this: you're not replacing yourself, but it is a documentation that I need to have, so that way we're processing and we're putting things together. Because if there's ever a miss or a gap, it usually comes down to the process and the steps. So we can always tweak the steps and processes to get the results that we're looking for. So please document the processes and the steps, okay, in a separate document in our manual handbook, titling whatever the project is or whatever the task is, and what are the steps to do it. Okay, thank you for that. So going back to the email you sent me yesterday, so first I'd like to clarify if you want me to create another Amazon account. So I have an Amazon account. I have an Amazon sellers account. I believe I'm set up as a merchant, so we need to go from merchant to now Facebook. I'm sorry, fulfillment by Amazon. I've never done it before. And so if you can find out how do we do that and what we need to do, and then just let me know what needs to be done, and I'll give you any information that you need from there. So we want to go from the merchant, as I am now, where right now somebody's buying a book, is sending me a seller slip. I open it up, I print it out, I take it to UPS or mailing place, and we mail it out from there. Shipping and handling is already included. So that's where it is right now. So I need to get a fulfillment by Amazon account. I don't know if that's a separate account or not. I'm not sure, but I do have an account with Amazon, a seller's account as well. Next question. He says, how can I be a help with your audiobook? So again, here's what I have. I have the audiobook. I have it basically already done. It's about 98% done. I had it done last September. It's like a year now. But the quality control people, ACX, I think it's ACX, they were the ones with Amazon that I uploaded to. They said there was a couple quality control errors in the beginning of a couple of them. I don't know what they are. So if you can help me find somebody that can kind of do some freelance work on that, even try Fiverr, Fivv, I think ER. I've had them do some work, so maybe you can reach out to them, put that out there. And the whole task is we have an audio book that needs to go through quality control so it can be ready. It can be uploaded and sold on Amazon as a audio book. So we can probably put out a job posting. They're very inexpensive for that as well in terms of Fiverr, at least what I've saw in the last couple of days. So So that's what I need help with, that basically putting a post out there, getting somebody to help us that has that experience that can do that. You may not be able to do it, I can't do it, meaning, but we need somebody that understands that they can listen to it and then they can correct it from that post-production standpoint. Next one, third, when would you like me to start sending out these emails? I would like to start, I would say kind of like next week. Let us have a call, a video. Here's one of the things I would say is probably one of my, this is something that's is a situation for me. Like, I need to have a meeting with you every week. Like, I need to see you, you see me, us sit down on preferably Mondays, because the benefit is that we can talk about what happened last week and then we can set forecasts for this week. So that way we can kind of see, and it's not just a whole lot of time going by, and it's not just a lot of things happen, and then by the time we get a chance to talk, we don't either have the time, or it's just so much that's happened that it's like now we're just trying to play catch up. And so that is one of our mandatory musts that we gotta have for us to be successful. Trust me, I've had several assistants over the years, over the last 10 years, and that has been always the key. Communication, effective communication. And that's why I say we come to those meetings with an agenda. So we know, okay, what are the things that we're going to hit? So we're not just rambling, we're not just running off track, but we know, hey, let's hit these items because they're detrimental to our success from last week, closing out last week, and forecasting for what comes up, what's needed. So just wanted to let you know the importance of that. Third, you said, when would you like me to start sending emails? So like I said, probably, like I said, next week. And those emails are, I have several guys from what I do with the NFL. They send me guys to reach out to just to check on them. Well, I don't have a canned message. I can make a canned message, but it's very, it's very straightforward. And I'll kind of give it to you a little bit right now. Hey, what's up? And then whoever it is, hey, this is Donovan. This is Donovan Darius, former 10-year NFL player and current NFL transition coach, period. I'm writing you to see how your transition is going, period. Let me know how everything, if I can be of any assistance in getting you connected with your former team, former players, any resources or benefits, period. I'm here to serve you, period. I live in Jacksonville, Florida, period. What's a good time that we can catch up for 10, 15 minutes to see how everything is going on your end, period. And then you could put, sign, best regards, Donovan Darius. So that can basically be the message. That can be one of the messages right there. And I want to be able to send that out. I'll send you a spreadsheet with emails and stuff, and you'll just kind of send that out. So every month I want to be communicating with guys. I want to send them different stuff, and there'll be other messages beyond that first one that I'll send you, where it'll be update stuff. Like I'll send you like, okay, here's some things that's coming up. Hey, do me a favor, Rachel, can you send this out to our to this database? Send this out to the guys, let them know. And it's really just checking in, just seeing how it is, man. Hey, happy Thanksgiving, whatever it may be. So again, it's touch points. So I would like, and you're going to be sending that out from my account. So I'm going to give you access to my email account, so it'll be coming directly from my account to theirs, okay? And then with my signature and everything from there. So I hope that makes sense. He says, is there a need for formulate content and emails? So I just kind of shared that. The next one, you said, fourth, link extensions to what? Your pages or your website. Whereas as I mentioned to Ms. Vanjie, right now I'm going through a business development, company developing branding session. So some things are going to change right now. I have somebody who has a media group who's helping me do a lot of the branding and building up the company with a whole new logo, tagline, everything. So right now it's not, we don't have to send them necessarily to the website right now, but pretty soon we will. So I wanted to give you a heads up. But other than that, let's just send them to the social media pages. Let's make sure we have the links to the social media pages. Let's have the link to the book. Let's make sure it's attractive and it's enough on there that people can, let's put a couple titles of a couple other right, a couple other videos on there as well. So that way, after they just saw ours, that one video, if they go in the description, which Ms. Vanjie is creating, and they look at some of the links, they can say, oh, here's this other video. So now you can actually look and see, okay, what video kind of ties in with this one? And then you can add that link, that title, and that link there as well. I wanted to be very comprehensive. I want to serve the people that we're serving by teeing it up and making it easy for them, because we're doing the work on the back end. So make sure if you have any questions about that, please let me know from there. But right now we're not linking them necessarily to the website, but the contact you can definitely put on there for booking, for booking and speaking. I would like let them send an email to contact@donovandarius.com. So let's put that on there for booking or speaking. For booking, Donovan, speaking requests, send email Donovan at contact@donovandarius.com. Okay. The fifth one says, as I schedule posts from your YouTube channel on your All Pro Motivation and Donovan Darius page, should I take the newest upload, or can I pick whatever best to publish on the page? I would say kind of pick whatever you want. Because again, I want to bring some of the ones that I have from before. It don't have to just be current, because for a while at times I may be creating other stuff for something else. So I would say you can kind of pick some other ones, but like I said, as long as they're relevant and as long as they're not too outdated. But for the most part, all of them on my All Pro on my YouTube page, pretty much relevant. From that standpoint. So I definitely want to say that as far as Twitter, something I wanted to mention with that. If you go on Grant Cardone TV, the Twitter, that's somebody that I had created my show, Return to Sunday Glory, with. And he posts, if you look at his Twitter account, where I'm mentioned in there at Donovan Darius, you'll see that every day on Twitter, he posts about five of my links from videos or pictures. So about 5 of them. So the number and statistics says go about 5 or 6 on Twitter, because you get different audiences at different times. So when we schedule the Twitter, on Twitter, I want it to make sure we have about at least about 5 different scheduled posts that's going out with some of my content, my video, like I said, some of the video, the YouTube stuff, and when the SoundCloud stuff, the audio things as well. So that way, and then again, some of the other posts. So remember, so Twitter, about 5 times. Okay. Facebook, like I said, our Facebook stuff, we can continue to, schedule out our posts with that. Typically I do the morning stuff, whenever I do those. But again, those are, we can have a few times with that as well, about 2 times throughout the Facebook, Instagram, Instagram as well from there. The last one you asked me on here, you said you have one Twitter account. Is that right? Yes. So I'm referring to that at Donovan Darius Twitter account. The last one, 6, you say, how can I get content from SoundCloud? So if you go to my SoundCloud account, Donovan Darius, it has All Pro. What did it say? It says All Pro Domination. That used to be what I used to call it. But it has personal development, professional development, spiritual development. So if you go to the playlist, there, then you'll see all of them. All you got to really do with that is just copy the link. When you want to share it, if you share it, you copy the link, and then you can go there. Also, I truly believe that I actually have in one of the spreadsheets, either in Dropbox or in Google Drive, it was actually the list of all the content from SoundCloud as well. And those content, just so you know, a lot of them are same as a YouTube, but the audio was just taken from it. Some people like to listen to it, stream it in their car where they can't see it. So again, it's just feeding people the same information, a lot of it all the time, and it can grow from there. So I hope that, like I said, I hope that helps. I hope this format helps a little bit. It can save us time, so that way you don't have to be present with face-to-face, but I can put out to you exactly what it is that I'm needing to get done. And then also thank you for responding to these emails as pertains to the importance of, and the importance of the communication as we go forward as well. Make sure your end of the day reports are very thorough. Make sure they're detailed, enough so that I can see, okay, what takes up your time? Meaning what's taking up our time? What are the projects? So I can kind of know, okay, maybe we need to shift here. Maybe we need to shift there. What is the time? How many hours are we're putting in working? What are we doing? Because as I mentioned, I did not just want to hire someone just for social media. That's not what I want. I wanted somebody that can bring, like you said, your strategy, your mindset, the reports, but also a proactive approach to, increasing revenue. Remember, you told me about that. You said, man, I got so much in me that I want to be able to pour out. Well, I want to make sure we're seeing that. But the only way I can see it is the first way is I can see it. So that means I got to be able to understand it, see it here, and you have to communicate that. We have to talk about what the strategy is, and then we go forward. Versus it's just, hey, let me do all that I'm doing, and then let me show you. Well, I get it. I trust you. You're on the team. Let's talk about it first so I can understand, so that way we're not double thinking, double talking, and then double doing work as well, especially as we're moving ebb and flow. Okay? So again, I hope that that makes sense. The purpose of this was all about positive reinforcement for us moving forward. I appreciate you being on the team. Right now, like I said, there is 2 people on the team. It's you and Miss Vanjie. I share with Leah, as you know already, that I had to let her go, and she totally understood the email that I sent her. She responded back, said, Mr. Darius, I totally understand, and a lot of it came down to the very fact that she couldn't hear in her writing, she could not really hear my voice and my tone, even if she had the videos, the audio. So her writing was wind up being something different. And if I'm having someone supplement what I'm saying, I have to make sure it's kind of in my tone and the narrative. And sometimes inexperience may cause you not to know how to do it. Sometimes just maturity or level or age, whatever, and sometimes mindset may not cause you to be able to adopt somebody else's understanding. It's kind of like how when we talk, how I'm able to connect, that's because empathetically I've been there and can understand it. And so you don't have to defend yourself when you're talking to me. I can understand it and move you forward. Well, I need the same thing in writers for them to understand what it is I'm saying and then articulate that and then put it into writing as well. So it's just an extension of what I already said, but in a writing form. And so as to not belliger the point and delay the process, instead of having somebody feel like they're getting crushed because you're trying to re-edit everything, I said, you know what? The tough decision was I had to let her go. It's not personal at all, but like I said, she understood, and that's how I am with anything. If there's not a fit, if it's not fitting, then can't force it. But that's why I want to prepare everybody with what it is and communicate as much as I can what it is that I need, what it is I expect. And there's sometimes we're just going to be in kind of limbo a little bit, like we are in transition, and that's okay. But as long as I'm getting what I'm needing, as long as I see the work ethic, I see the reporting, I see the documentation, as long as I get the response time, I get the communication, as long as I get that, then I'm fine, because I'm okay. I know things take time. But if I don't get that, then that's when it becomes an issue, because now I'm guessing, and nobody wants to guess, because when expectations don't meet reality, then comes frustration and disappointment. Okay, so listen, I appreciate it. Thank you. Let me know you got this message. I'm gonna put this up on YouTube, so that way, and I'll put it unlisted, so that way nobody can get it, nobody can see it except you. Okay, and so this is a private thing between you. Let me know if this works as well. Send me an email. Let me know if this worked as well, and what other questions you have. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.